everyone. Hello everyone. Today we're learning about asexual reproduction. So this will be lesson 3.4. Okay, so asexual reproduction is defined as having one parent. So there's one parent and the offspring are all identical to the parent. This is just an image here. We'll talk more about this in a bit here. So we've got one parent and then producing, in this case, two identical offspring, okay? So what is asexual reproduction then? You're going to write this on the top of your page. Excuse me. Remember, everything in red you can write down on your sheet there. So this is reproduction that involves only one parent. So because of this, all offspring that results from asexual reproduction are genetically identical to that of the parent because they make an exact copy of themselves. So they're called clones, okay? So they're exactly the same as the parents. So the children or the offspring are completely identical to the parent. So do humans undergo asexual reproduction? What do you I want you to think about that for a second. And the answer is no, we do not. Sometimes people confuse masturbation with asexual reproduction. So masturbation is not asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is when you are producing clones, and so masturbation does not do that, right? Oops, I can't see that there. There are several, I don't even remember what that says. Oops, hold on. There are several, there we go. There are several different forms of asexual reproduction. So can you think of any? So just try and see if you can come up with some. And right now we are, we've got COVID-19 in the world, so that would actually be a form of asexual reproduction as the viruses are reproducing, right? So we have viral reproduction, bacteria, so we have things like spores, some plants, not all plants, some plants, etc. There's lots of different types of asexual reproduction here. So characteristics, some forms allow the organism to produce lots of identical individuals very quickly. So we're going to watch a video of the bacterial growth of one. So hold on here. There we go. Come on, Wi-Fi. There we go. So, oops. So this is bacteria that's reproducing here. So as you can see, they're all identical to each other. So they're just reproducing over time. This is 1 hour, 20 minutes now. So the bacteria is just getting more and more and more. And this will just keep going on and on and on. Okay, I'm gonna go back here. Now we're gonna watch this specifically for mouth bacteria, which is particularly horrifying. Okay, I like this one. This one's fun. And again, very, very relevant to our life right now. COVID-19 is a virus, of course, not bacteria, but it's going to be a similar thing here. And ours is respiratory, or COVID is respiratory, but this is a little different. This is kind of a cute little video here. So the sneeze, how germs are spread.
Hello, would you like some donuts?
My favorite, glazed donuts. Oh, my candy donuts. Oh, no, chocolate. Oh, but I'm on a diet. Oh, well, I'll just have an itty bitty bit. Oh, where can I wash my hands?
Down the hall, that way.
Thank you.
Chocolate, yummy.
All right, hope you enjoyed that horrifying little video. I like that one. Anyways, okay, so there are advantages and disadvantages to asexual reproduction. So if all the offspring are identical to the parent, why is this a possible disadvantage? So that's the first question here. So why would this be a bad thing to have clones of something? And so you can come up with different reasons. One of them is that it makes it vulnerable, right? Oops, sorry. I just switched my pen here. So it's going to make it vulnerable, vulnerable to environment. So, for example, you can have an organism doing well in an environment, but then say there's some disease that comes, and the disease is susceptible, and the whatever it is, the organism is vulnerable or susceptible to this disease. It could kill off all of them, right? So because they're genetically identical to each other, it could kill off all of them. So when we have biodiversity or we have variation within a species, we have a stronger species. So if you think of elm trees, so the neighborhood that I live in has a lot of elm trees, and there's a disease called Dutch elm disease. Dutch elm disease kills the trees. It's really bad for them. And what's worse is that it spreads to other trees. Or if one tree gets sick, the ones around it have a greater chance of getting sick. So if all the elm trees were clones of each other in my neighborhood, for example, they would all die and just die out, because quite a few of the trees are getting Dutch elm. But because there's variation, so within elm trees, there's different varieties of elm trees. And we know this about plants, right? When you get so you get petunias for your flowers in the summer. Some of you have gardens in where you live. We've got different colors, right? So that would mean those are different varieties of a plant. So genetically, they're slightly different. So maybe we have something that kills off all the pink pansies or purple pansies, then hopefully, a different color of pansy maybe is not susceptible to a certain disease. So that variety that we would get from sexual reproduction protects it. So main disadvantage then, they're all identical, so they're very vulnerable to their environment and they don't adapt, they can't change very well. Main positive, we could think advantages are things like, well, because assuming that the parent is successful in their environment, so that would mean that the offspring would also be successful in their environment. So that could be a main advantage there. Yeah, so there's various advantages and disadvantages, and you actually have a handout in your notes that goes through them all there. We're going to be looking at sexual reproduction soon in our next lesson, actually. But before you do that, I want you to use your textbooks, and your assignment is page 23. You can do questions 1 to 5 and number 12. Okay, thanks everyone.